So joining us now is Terri Stroud, Policy Advisor at the DC Board of Elections. Thank you so much for General Counsel at the, I had the wrong title, General Counsel at the
Yes.
DC Board of Elections. I want to thank you so very much for joining us because, it's been like, the long road to the end. And we hope the end is on November 3rd, but there's a big chance that it won't be, I guess. I don't know.
Well, in DC, it won't be actually because ballots will still be coming in. Ballots that are coming in by mail may be postmarked by November 3rd, but they can be received at the board up until the 10th day after the election. And so whereas individuals talk about, okay, election results are out on election night, election results are not official until certified by the board, and that won't take place until much later on, and certainly not before the 13th of November. So I just want to alert listeners to that, listeners and viewers.
Fantastic. There've been some issues raised about what happened in the primary election back in June. We did have long lines there, and some issues that folks have raised. But how prepared are you all for November 3rd?
I think we're very prepared. I think, there were long lines in the primary. We did have some issues with our technology, but I always think that while we would not have the lines be as long as they were in the primary, but I think that when it's a good sign that people are voting. And so, we've trained poll workers. We've trained over 3,400 poll workers to serve the 32 early voting centers and the 95 election day voting centers. We have staff, and we're overstaffing election day vote centers, as well as some of the early vote centers that we think will see a high volume of voters. We have a reserve corps of election workers that will step in case of absenteeism or other situations where assigned poll workers can't be in their places. So we have backup poll workers. We have a very solid core in terms of number and quality of poll workers that will be serving the voters beginning next Tuesday, October 27th, through Election Day, November 3rd. As I said, we'll have 32 early vote centers. We'll have 6 super vote centers. In Ward 2, we'll have voting at the Capital One Arena. In Ward 3, we'll have the UDC Gymnasium, the Omni Shoreham Hotel. In Ward 7, we'll have Dock 5 at Union Market. And in Ward 6, we're going to have Nats Park, Nats Stadium. And in Ward 8, we're going to have the Entertainment and Sports Arena. So and voters can go anywhere in the city to vote. They don't have to vote at their assigned precincts, which may or may not be open depending on where their voters usually vote. But you can go to any vote center throughout the city and you will be able to be serviced there.
I'm not sure if you can answer this, but I know that there was an appeal earlier to try to get younger folks, because poll workers tend to be older, our seniors. And because of the virus, I know there was a call to recruit younger voters. And we caught wind the other day that there's a whole crew of them from Howard University that have signed up to participate. How did that turn out? It sounds like you got more.
We have a great many, probably more younger poll workers, I'd say under the age of 34 than we have ever had. I think it's safe to say. I've been seeing them come in and out. We finished poll worker training yesterday, and there are a great many younger people than the average age of poll workers that we've had. But we really appreciate our veterans. We have, veteran poll workers here too. We don't want, they tend to be extremely reliable and very comfortable with technology. But we do want them to be home safe. We would rather have younger folks who are not affiliated with the at-risk categories come out and serve the voters of the district. I will also say that we've gotten a lot of ballots back already at this point. I think that as of yesterday in the drop boxes, we've gotten over 80,000 ballots returned already to this point. And we have gotten about over 3,400 mail-in ballots at least.
And how does that
so a lot of voting has taken place.
How does that compare to 2016? Do you know?
Oh, far and above beyond what we've seen.
Okay. And the last question, because we just don't have enough time to talk
Yes.
about all the things we want to talk about. But I did find a link. I voted early by
Okay.
mail for the first time in my life, and I was very uncomfortable doing it. But I did it,
Hmm.
not by mail, but we put it in a drop box. There was a
Yes.
site I could go to find that my ballot had been received, which made me a lot more comfortable. Can you share that with us where this location is if people have voted? Uh,
I can send it to you. I think it's a ballot tracks. Let me, I'd have to go to our website. I don't have it handy, but I
okay,
can
all right,
certainly
okay,
like provide it for you later to share with your viewers, and maybe in a
right,
later screening you can put it up on the screen. But
okay,
it's
well,
ballot tracks,
wonderful.
BALLOTTRAX.
Wonderful. It just makes you feel so much more secure knowing that you're, I want to thank you for being with us.
Thank
So
you for
right
having
now,
me.
any advice, last thing, any advice that you can give voters who have not voted yet, either they're going to, utilize the resources or they're going to come on election day. Any advice you want to give them right now?
Well, I think that what I would say is that if you're going to come in person, if you would like to come in person and you don't want to vote the ballot that you received in the mail, check our website because we will have something called a queue that will allow you to see how long the wait times are at the early voting centers that you want to vote at. So that's in place for early voting. And I would say bring your patience. If you're going to come and vote in person, you have to, if you're going to come and vote and wait in line, if you're going to wait to vote in person, you're going to wait in line to vote. That's probably the best advice that I can give. So be prepared to be patient, and we will try our best to serve you as efficiently as we can.
Since coronavirus, we've been using a lot of using that letter P. So we've come up with
Hmm.
a new one, prepare to be patient. I like
Yes.
that. That's the double
Yes.
P's. All
Mhm.
right. Thank you so much, Attorney Stroud, for being with us and for
Thank you
sharing
for
this
having me.
information. And we're looking forward to a successful election on November 3rd.
Thank you.